Okay, we are now at step 3 of the sales process. And step 3 is you've come through the threshold of the door, you've selected where you're going to sit, and you're placing your butt in that seat. I'll tell you what you don't want to do for starters. You don't want to comment on something that is not sincere. Like if there's a mounted fish on the wall. Oh, you're a fisherman? It's like, I talked to it was an agent a day or two ago, and we were talking about salespeople. We were talking about this exact same topic, and he rides a Harley, and he told me he hates when when a salesperson brings up, "Oh, you ride a Harley?" it's like well, yeah. Why do you? If you have a sincere interest in this, in Harleys, then by all means. However, if it's just you're just trying to make conversation, and that appears to be a conversation piece, no good, no good. Here's what I do. Oftentimes, I'll sit down and I will say, "Can you turn that television off or turn it down, like way down for me?" Sometimes people don't want to turn the television off, and they'll turn it way, way down, but they like the television on, and I'm fine with that. But then I'll get in a conversation about that. I'll say, when I was younger, things didn't bother me, but now if I got a television on in the background, it's a distraction, and I cannot focus on the conversation when that television is on. For the life of me, I can't focus on the conversation when that television on. And we'll have a little conversation. I'll say, "Yeah, I know." And they'll start talking about, like, we leave that television on every day. And then I'll say, "Yeah, when I grew up, television was on every day in my house as well." And then I can transition to a question, to what my presentation. And my presentation is questions. So I can go from that. I can say, "So, are you guys healthy?" And that's a very smooth transition. The important thing is that I don't get into some awkward silence, because as soon as you hit that awkward silence, they're like, "Okay, what are you selling? Okay, let's hear that presentation." They never get to that with me. And understand, these people have seen more presentations than you in all likelihood. They've bought more cars, predicated on your age. They bought more cars. They have seen the Kirby vacuum cleaner or Rainbow vacuum cleaner presentation, Encyclopedia Britannica. And talk about a presentation. That was a sales presentation there. Uh, they've seen satellite dish sales presentations. They've seen dozens and dozens of insurance agents. They know the game. So if you come in and you sit down and you start off with that, "I'm a broker and I can shop your insurance and find the best plan for you," unlike an agent who can only sell you the plan for the company he represents, which may not be the best plan. That that's tired old stuff. Everybody's a broker. Everybody's a broker. You know, and I'm not saying that that's a bad presentation, although I never use it. Uh, I may mention that at some point, but that's not part of a presentation for me. Any presentation is bad. Any and every presentation is bad. If Instead, I want to go to questions, and the questions will bring me to sale. So as soon as you start, as soon as it's like, okay, and your body language stops and you're like, "I'm going into presentation mode now," they're tightening up. They are tightening up. So I just want to ask questions. Again, I was talking to turning the television off. I was talking about how it's very distracting for me. And then, maybe we had a little conversation about it. And then I just said, "So you guys healthy?" Very natural, very fluid. And you know what? People like to talk about their health. No problem at all. Talk about their health all day long. And then I can switch. I can say, "Well, you take if I and I'll ask them if they're healthy, and they'll say yes, no. They may have a problem. They may have blood pressure or something. And oftentimes, if they say, well, I got high blood pressure and I got cholesterol, so you take like metoprolol, lisinopril, uh, for your blood pressure, and they'll say, yeah, and I'll say, well, so for your cholesterol, do you take a statin medication, perhaps simvastatin or atorvastatin? And they will say, well, yeah, I do, as a matter of fact, simvastatin. And then I'll say, so mostly generics, how much you paying for those? Again, I've not had a lull in the action. I've been fluid the whole time, but I'm not presenting anything to them. And then I can go to their doctors. Do you see the doctor for that often? And I can go to, well, how much you pay a doctor for a doctor visit? And they can tell me, if they tell me zero, and I'll say, well, how much do you pay for a specialist if you had to see a specialist? Again, I'm non-invasive at this point. Everything's fluid. There's been no awkward stops. We're just talking. And they seem happy. Seniors seem happy to talk about this type of stuff, their health. If they're zero on their doctor and $25 on their specialist, and they're in the upstate of South Carolina, I know what insurance plan they have. We've never discussed insurance. I know they have the Aetna plan, the Aetna Premier PPO, because that's the only plan that's 0 and 25, okay? So I can continue down this path, and I can find out everything I need to know about these people without ever asking them. If we're talking medications, I'll talk about extra help, and maybe I can help them, but it has income cutoffs, and we'll talk about their income. All I was trying to do is help them. I didn't ask them what their income was necessarily. I just asked them if they're above $1,517 a month, which I believe is the cutoff this year. And they told me, no, I'm at 1,300. And I may say, well, does that include your Part B premium or your drug card premium? So, but I'm not going anywhere. They're not taking me, and we're not going together, or we're not going together. So at no time am I breaking out a book, showing them stuff. I may pull something out. And the one thing I will pull out up to this point is the Medicare and You book. So everything is fluid. I'm asking questions, and I hope you're following along with this. We've knocked on the door. We've walked through the threshold. We've sat down. I'm not presenting anything. Everything's been small talk, lighthearted, trying to keep it very, very light and keep it very, very fluid. And again, they haven't got me. They're waiting. But at some point, they're going to say, hey, we're just talking. They're going to forget that I'm a salesman and I'm trying to pitch them. And that's what you want. So that's it for this video. Let's see. In my next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a whole bunch of questions that I ask, because this is the heart of it. Everything's important. There's not one step in this process that's not ultimately important. But I want to get to the heart of the presentation. Again, the question-based presentation. So if you want more information, go to my site, MedicareMillionaire.com. There's a lot of information there. And I do want you to like this video. Please like the video. Please subscribe. That really helps me. Have a great day.